You might think you're too old to get really good at music or to improve significantly. You might think younger people have all the advantages when it comes to learning an instrument. You probably think you don't have the time to play the music you've always wanted to. I'm 49 years old, and I've made the most meaningful progress in my saxophone playing in my 40s. Not only that, I did it not by practicing more, but by practicing smarter and by a huge shift in mindset that I want to share with you. Hopefully, you too can benefit from my experience and start getting more enjoyment and satisfaction from playing the saxophone or any musical instrument. Later on, I'm going to tell you how I improved my playing over the last 10 years or so while raising kids and working more hours than I ever have before. But first, let's talk about the advantages people over 40 have when it comes to learning music. Experience. You've been around enough to know what music you really like and want to focus on learning. You're not going to be influenced by what someone else wants you to study or what your friends are doing. You can play whatever instrument and style of music you want. Maturity. You're going to be able to handle the shift in mindset that is key to unlocking your musical potential. More on this in a little bit. Patience. This is essential to having success. If you're over 40, you're more patient than you were earlier in life. I tell myself, I wish I knew these things when I was younger, but the truth is, I probably wouldn't have been capable of doing them because I was too impatient. Money. Most people over 40 make a lot more money than their younger selves. A saxophone habit can get a bit expensive if you want to get the high-end gear. You don't need to spend a lot of money, but there's nothing wrong with investing in a hobby that brings you joy and fulfillment. Now more than ever, we need activities that get our minds and bodies active. Our lives are bombarded with distractions that end up stealing our most precious asset, which is time. Playing music is one of the higher quality uses of our free time, setting a good example for our kids. If you're a parent, you probably tell your kids to put down their iPads or video game devices all the time. Of course, it's better when we set the example and show them we also do worthwhile things with our free time. Community. Music opens you up to a world of other like-minded people you can play with, perform with, hang out with. Case in point, the BetterSax Studio, which is my online lesson program, is a community of mostly over 40 people having an amazing time developing their saxophone skills, supporting one another along the journey, and making meaningful progress with their music. We have measuring sticks for how well we're doing in life, right? How much money we make, how things are going at work and with our family. There is a special kind of satisfaction that comes from developing a skill, bettering ourselves. I've been focusing more on my health the last couple months and lost a bunch of weight. It wasn't easy. I had to stop eating desserts, snacks, and anything that is bad for me. I also had to exercise regularly, but I got results over time, and it feels fantastic. On the saxophone, I've slowly, over time, improved my own playing by putting in consistent work, and that also feels fantastic. The key is, it doesn't matter if anyone else notices. I know when I look in the mirror or I hear myself play. The key thing that needs to change to accelerate your progress and generate real improvement is to remove the ego from the equation. This is the main reason I made real progress in my 40s, even though I didn't practice a ton. Marathon practice sessions that last for hours are very impractical for working adults with children. Pretty much impossible. The good news is that they aren't at all necessary. Musical skill is compounding, just like good health. Consistency over time is what gets results, not frantic pushes to get quick outcomes. You want to lose weight? Change your daily habits gradually and over a long time horizon. We all know what happens with crash diets and extreme new workout routines, right? It's the same with music. Simply commit to spending a small amount of time with your instrument every single day. Get some good material to practice, some inspiring music to listen to. And over time, you will enjoy the benefits of compounding interest on your efforts. People over 40 have the patience to do this and can find the time in their schedule. Believe me, it's worth it. What does the ego have to do with all this? You have to be okay with being a work in progress. You have to accept that many other people play better than you, and that is fine. You have to embrace being a beginner. Maybe you're not a beginner at playing the saxophone, but you are a beginner at any aspect of music that is new to you, and there is an inexhaustible supply of new things to learn. You have to realize that each day you can only get a tiny bit better, and that is wonderful. Because if you get a tiny bit better each day for a year, you will be transformed. If you get a tiny bit better each day for 10 years, you will have accomplished something that most people never experience. And you will forever be addicted to the process of self-improvement that can be applied to anything you do in life. Our ego is always getting in the way, though. It's telling us we'll never be any good, that when it matters, we're going to fail. There's a little voice in our head telling us it's better to sit on the couch with our phone than to exercise, read a book, or practice. It tells us to eat those desserts because that's a much easier path to feeling good than a healthier choice would be. You have to find what system works for you, but here's a guide to the things that have been working well for me. Try them out to see if they help you too. Practice a little bit every day. I am by no means living up to my ideal, but I play the saxophone every day that it is reasonably possible to do so. If the day gets away from me and I've run out of time, I'll just pick it up for 5 to 10 minutes. The difference between playing a short amount of time and not at all is enormous. Commit to a short amount of time and you will inevitably end up playing much longer. Create a practice space for yourself. This is another thing that gets a lot easier the older you are. When I was young, I lived in apartments with roommates, and practice space was a lot harder to come by. I still managed to find places to practice, but having to get in my car to go somewhere or being stressed because of neighbors makes for poorer quality practice. I've made videos on solutions to this, but having a dedicated, peaceful practice space with no distractions has been a total game changer for me. Learn new material constantly. This one is huge. You have to introduce something new on a very regular basis. I would say at least once a month, something entirely new to you should be introduced. This could be a new song, a new scale, a new solo transcription, a new pattern, a new piece of classical repertoire, whatever. I'm introducing new things every week to my practice, and this is going back to embracing being a beginner. When we are beginners, we make the most rapid progress. We get more gratification from the effort put in. On the other hand, if we just keep practicing the same old stuff, we get bored. We make little to no progress and don't have any fun. The act of learning new things also compounds itself, and we end up getting even faster at learning new things, which greatly accelerates the entire process. Be kind to yourself. We're all our own worst critic, right? This is toxic behavior, though, and it will sabotage your progress on anything you're trying to do. It's fine to want to be good and to have high expectations for yourself, but this needs to be balanced with reality. Reality is that you can only get a little bit better each day. We cannot expect more than that. You just cannot consistently lose 5 pounds a week. There's no point in beating yourself up for not performing miracles. Acknowledge your real level today. Own your strengths and weaknesses. Don't compare yourself to anyone apart from who you were yesterday. Every day is an opportunity to get better. And all any of us can do is show up and try. If you show up every day and are kind to yourself, you can eventually achieve the best version of yourself on any given day. That's as good as we can ever be. And it's really counterproductive to get down on yourself for not magically being better than that. It's okay if you make mistakes. In fact, the mistakes you make are telling you exactly what you should be working on. Don't get mad at yourself. Focus on your weakness and improve it. Something new to practice. Music is a great testing ground for learning to let go of our ego. If you can do it in music, try doing it in everything else and see how much less stressful life becomes. This is the type of YouTube video I like to watch for myself because I find it helpful to get encouragement from someone else who has achieved the same thing I'm trying to do. So I hope if you've watched this far, you're feeling motivated. Here are the next action steps you can take right now. First thing is to get on my email newsletter. Every week, I send you a message with a link to a new video that will hopefully inspire you, inform you, or motivate you in your saxophone playing. Go to BetterSax.com and click the link to sign up for the BetterSax Shed, where you'll get tons of free resources, lesson videos, PDF, and backing track downloads. That's another bonus for all my newsletter subscribers. Next, we have a library of great courses for all levels. So when it comes to getting new material for your practice, we have you covered there too. There are courses for beginning, intermediate, and advanced improvisers, and it's really a fantastic way for adults to learn music on their own terms. And finally, if you want to join an amazing community of mostly over 40 saxophone players who are also making the most progress in their lives, I invite you to join the BetterSax studio. Each month we have a new unit with new video lessons, a PDF lesson download, and backing tracks. And the best part is you can submit videos and recordings of your playing for my feedback and support from your peers. It is a truly awesome experience for everyone participating. Go to bettersax.com or visit the link in the description to learn more. And if you're looking for a bit more motivation, check out this video next. You're going to love it.